Hello, hello, test, test, test. Okay, audio seems to be working. Thank you, Running Fox. I have no idea how long I'll be able to be online because my daughter is not having a good time. But we're just gonna try it. See what happens. Everything appears to be working, which is great. So yeah, welcome to my stream. Today I will be drawing some World of Warcraft fan art. I'm going to draw a troll priest, which is a character of someone I know. Hello, Praise Voltar, thank you for joining. Sorry for the wait, as just said, my daughter is not having a good day, but we'll see how it goes. If she's going to start crying again, I'm afraid I'll need to go offline, but I think she's singing now, so should be good. Let's have a look. Okay, so I am going to draw a troll priest. The character you see here with this armor, which I forgot the name of. And I already made a really rough sketch of what I'm going to try to do. So I'll see how far I get. I'm mainly just going to try to draw the character and talk a little bit about World of Warcraft, I guess. As they have a new thing on Battle.net where you can try the game for free if you already used to have an account, so you can see all your old characters, which is really cool. Let's see, I'm just going to, this is a really rough sketch. I'm going to draw in this sketch to see what I want with the character. So this is going to be really rough, and I'm going to make it all look nice later on. The Avatar Raymond. Alright, okay, cool. I actually never really played a priest. I did try the Shadow spec, but that was like when the latest expansion hit, so I used to never play a priest. I wasn't really much of a healer. The Shadow part I really liked though. That really sounded interesting. I have no idea how it used to play. If it was actually good or just used for leveling. Probably that. But it's fun to see I'm getting at least 2 people. I keep seeing back, which is great. Thanks for watching. See if we can draw a troll. I have drawn a couple of night elves, which are on my Instagram account. And now let's see if I can draw a female troll. I do like the trolls. I think they're one of my favorite horde races. Maybe the orc is maybe my most favorite one. I do like me some trolls, and even with the new expansion coming, we'll get new trolls, which they'll look amazing. Yeah, do I have a soothing voice? I hope you all had a great day, by the way. Mine was actually a pretty quick day. The time flew by. It's pretty good. I was looking forward to this stream, but you know, kids they don't really care about silly Twitch streams, so Did you also play World of Warcraft, Brave Soltar? Here I'm just trying to like make a really quick sketch on what I want with the character. Oh, I actually have good news for the people who backed me on Kickstarter. The books will be arriving tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. They'll probably be here tomorrow. I won't be home though, so that sucks, but I can't wait to see them in real life. If they look just as great as the posters, I think people are going to be really happy with them. Okay. A 30 level 30. Yeah, that's not really high, but yeah, the game is not for everyone. I really played it a lot back when vanilla was just like new. I played Burning Crusade a lot, and I got pretty burned out when Wrath of the Lich King came out. But I have been playing each expansion, at least for a couple of months, and actually did enjoy the latest expansion, Legion. It was pretty good, especially the Death Knight. That was really fun to play, and I actually played my very first healer, which was a shaman. That was also loads of fun. Yeah, Burning Crusade, that was great. That was the only time I actually raided. I was the main tank, and we were just doing Karazhan, so we weren't really like a really high level guild or anything, but it was loads of fun to slowly progress through that dungeon. Was pretty cool. I was a druid tank. Yes, books and posters. They're all well, yeah. I really hope they'll arrive tomorrow, and or they'll be dropped off at the neighbors. But apparently it's going to be like two big boxes of books. So I'm really curious to how big those boxes will be. They're two separate. Oh, this shoulder pad's growing a little weird. Let's see. Yeah, it's going to be 100 books in A4 size of each 32 pages. So yeah, I have no idea what big boxes I should expect, but it's going to be pretty cool. I now have a huge box of 500 envelopes, which I'll be using to ship all the books. And I just need to figure out how I'm going to be shipping the posters, as I did not really take that into account. So I have no idea how I'm going to do that. Let's have a look. I'm just going to I can't really see this armor on the chest, so I'm just going to do something as long as it looks a bit like it. And of course, the cool wings. Well, I think my daughter is still singing, but as long as she's not crying, we should be good. Let's change this a bit so it looks like actual wings. Just like Judge Dredd has on his shoulder pads. I wanted to draw the troll with a little bit of attitude because I happen to know the person who plays this troll. So it needs to be like a tough looking troll. They don't have really big tusks, but I'm gonna, like, they should have. I mean, why have tiny tusks when you can have big ones, right? Okay. Just going to make it a little bit smaller. Okay, this is a really rough sketch on what I want to do with the character. I might change a bit because the wings don't look super dynamic. I might play around a little bit with the warp setting just to see if I can make it a little bit more. I've actually been a warp player for most of my Warcraft time. I do like dwarves. Dwarves are cool. And the Worgen. I have a soft spot for Worgen, although the models look terrible. They look really dated. And most armor looks horrible on the Worgens. But, you know, what's not to like about a big werewolf, you know? And dwarves are cool because, you know, dwarves. Alright. Rough sketch. Save it because it might work out. Let's see. Okay. So the sketch will be hidden with low opacity. Maybe I'll just... Oh, that's too low. Let's keep it at 10%. And now we're going to do some inking on top of that. And we're going to see if we can make her look pretty cool. The Worgens are really cool. I really like the backstory or like the intro zone that they have, where you actually start as an actual human. You get bitten by a Worgen, and you know, it's a really fun way, but it's a pretty long zone, so if you've seen it once, you're gonna hate doing it another time. But it's worth to just check out it once. And the female Worgen, I don't know. They look like furries, really. You see them a lot in games, so they are popular, but honestly, the male ones look way better. But that's with all the Warcraft, races. They make the males first, and then oh yeah, we need to like make a female version of that. That's why I think they could like make the troll females. They could look more trollish, you know. They look pretty humanoid, whilst the male trolls look way more interesting. Okay, this eye is way too big. Let's scale that down just a bit. Ooh, Running Fox has a question. If you're a man, do you ever play a female character or vice versa? That is a very good question. I I actually tried it because if you're gonna I have this from PvP Online, but if you're gonna look at a butt all day, it better be a female one, right? But I can't really. I like to identify myself with the character I'm playing, so I usually pick the male characters. So I believe the male characters usually have way bigger shoulder armor. And that's what I really like in Warcraft. Way too big and not practical at all shoulder armor. I don't really have a pencil phase like most artists do. So during inking, I might change around some stuff on the fly, and as this is just a fun little drawing, that's fine. Normally with when making a comic, I do try to have an actual pencil stage where I really try to pencil as nicely as possible so the inking process will go a lot faster. But usually when doing a drawing, I just have a rough sketch and do the pencil and inking stage at the exact same time. Is it efficient? I don't know, but it works for me. So yes, praise the Lord. Some people are really, really desperate, or they have an undead fetish. I mean, I'm sure it's a fetish. Should be. I did hear tales of lots of cyber sex in the the deep Tron Brill or something, but I never saw it anyway. But I've read some really amusing stories about that. I did love the undead starter zone way back in vanilla. It had such good atmosphere. The music was great. It was actually really nice and spooky. Now let's put her ears a little bit more to the top so it actually fits her head. But I think my favorite zone was Duratar. I've played it so many times as I am a severe alcoholic. I've leveled so many trolls and orcs. And then, way back he didn't have a barber shop, so if I would hit like a higher level, and I don't really like the hair on this one. I'm just gonna re-roll this guy and try again. But the music in Duratar really was nice. Back when it was actually difficult when there was this troll boss, and some classes could solo him, but most of them couldn't. So you actually had to wait around for other players to help you out. And that was actually what I really liked about the game, is that it was an actual community. And because you were just on a server, you got to know these people. And that, you don't really have that anymore. Now you have cross-realm and everybody's just trying to do everything as quickly as possible. So it's a whole different mindset. The goblins, yeah, I don't really know. I do like goblins, don't get me wrong, but I don't really like the technology and the look of it. It doesn't really fit in the fantasy setting. It's just, you in the Star Wars zone, you had like this car and all that stuff. I don't know. I couldn't really get used to that. It was a bit weird. No, they always had like the technology. Like they were in, I think, Warcraft 2. They were the ones who got the Zeppelins, and they were like the Goblin sappers. But still, it was really low tech. They didn't have cars, or I think they had guns though. Oh, wrong button. No, wrong button still. My keyboard is not functioning very good. This stream is a little bit cursed, but I'm sure that will happen more in the future. Yeah, I really need a priest for this. But I'm not sure if I need a shadow priest, because I think that will just make things worse, summoning all those old gods. I really like the lore of a shadow priest, and I like that there's a lot of I think in the new expansion there's a lot of shadow stuff coming. So big Lovecraft influence, which I love. I am really sick of the Legion and their fell green, but I think everybody is at this point. I did play the other expansion, Warlords of Draenor, which was, well, it was fine, I guess, but a lot of people didn't like it. And but there it also ended with the Legion, so we've been having lots of Legion, lots of green. So I'm looking forward to something different. I used to draw a lot of Warcraft characters when I was in guilds. It was always fun to do. But that armor. It's so detailed. Like, you know, in game you see, oh, this is like a low res armor, but still the texture of it, it has a lot of details. So I do tend to like armor which is just a little bit more low key. You got so much crazy armor nowadays. It's insane to draw. Ain't nobody got time for that. Occasionally be glancing on the side where my laptop is so I can actually view the chat. And if someone wants to ask me a question, go right ahead. Now we're here doodling this insane looking priest. I know she's insane. Which is my favorite? Wow, class and race. Well, I think race is either the troll or the orcs. I'm a big orc guy. I love orcs. And but I also really like trolls. I have played a Tauren Druid, way back when you didn't have troll druids. But I think I will go with orcs because I've been playing Warcraft since Warcraft 1. And I always chose the Horde and orcs. So the same with Warhammer. Orcs are great. As for class, that's also a difficult one, as I tend to jump around on that one. It used to be Druid. For a long time it was Druid. But I got really tired of the Druid. But I also really like the Shaman, especially Enhancement, and the Death Knight, which I really like because of the lore, and I like the Lich King and all that stuff. So I think Death Knight might be my favorite class at the moment. The Unholy spec really plays fun. It's a really fun spec. You really feel like a necromancer in plate armor. And I actually have a Worgen Death Knight, so, and he looks really cool. As long as you don't use a helmet, because every helmet looks silly on a Worgen. But I've also been playing, in the last expansion I played a warrior, which was really fun, but they had a gladiator stance. If you went protection, there was a gladiator stance which you could DPS with a shield and one-handed weapon. And it did practically no DPS, but it was just so much fun to do. And there was a dwarf. But I'll go for a, I think that my most favorite will be then a Orc Death Knight. If I go for a favorite race and class combo. What about you guys? What is your favorite race class combination? I'm just going to see where all the shadow is going to come, and I'll fill these in later. Druids were great tanks. At least they were enjoyable tanks to play. And I actually played. I played Druid when you had like the most ugliest bear form imaginable. But you know, you didn't know any better. Like the cat form was, oh, that was so ugly. The Tauren cat form. It was just a wyvern without wings, and but it was still fun to play. Actually, the class was great. It was very versatile and so much fun to play. Back then, I always switched between a druid and a shaman. I did not raid in vanilla though, so I don't know how the class is played. I was just leveling. I was always leveling characters. Once I hit 60, I got bored of them and I would start a new character. That was really nice that I was able to level really fast because I knew exactly where to go. I knew where all the quest was. And this was way back before you had Dungeon Finder and all that stuff. So I now realize I'm using a pretty thick brush. That's actually my the brush or the setting I use for rough sketching. I did not scale that back, but I can't go back now. That would look weird. But this has been a pretty weird evening, so I am not fully prepared. I even had a root beer saved for my stream, and I totally forgot to get that out of the fridge. But so I got a root beer after the stream. Oh, by the way, I also really enjoy the monk. It's a newer class from Mists of Pandaria, but it's fun. It's you got a tanking spec, DPS, and healing spec, and it's very fun. Oh, this is way too big. Let's squeeze that shoulder pad a little bit. There we go. Actually did stop playing Warcraft about probably maybe a month ago. I leveled pretty much every class to 110, and I did all the most of the class mounts. I don't really care about getting super great gear, so I thought, you know, I'm done. I actually want to play the new allied races, like the new trolls, and you got some new orcs. So I'll just wait for the new expansion to hit, and then I'll start playing again. Because stuff from the new expansion looked really cool, especially the neutral druids. They're all dinosaurs. That's awesome. I can't wait to have a dinosaur bear form. It looks really good. And also, I got human druids now, which are like giants. They look really cool, like animals made out of trees or something. It looks really weird. I like it. It's like a paganistic look or something. I can't really place it. It's probably based on something, but if someone knows, please let me know. And I did enjoy playing the Warlock. I played a Void Elf Warlock, which was it was actually a fun class. I never actually played one for real, so it took some time getting used to it. But I'm not much of a caster. I like to get in with the close combat. Did any of you guys also play the other Warcraft games, like Warcraft 1 and 2, or 3, of course? And there's even, it's not really released, but there is a adventure game out there, Lord of the Clans, but it wasn't really officially released, but I think there's a playable version of it. Not sure though. Mage. I did play Mage way back, but it wasn't for me. Oh yeah, Warcraft 1. Warcraft 2 was my favorite, but I'm more of a I'm not even that big of a fantasy guy, but if I need to choose between Warcraft and Starcraft, I'll always pick Warcraft. For nostalgia reasons, but they were great games. Actually, surprised there isn't a ogre playable race yet. I mean, I would love to have an ogre with 2 heads. It would be awesome. Let's have a look. She has these ribbons hanging from her shoulder pads, so I'm going to draw these. Maybe give them. I'm not gonna like draw them straight down. That would be boring. So I'll give them a little bit. Like they're ripped. They've seen some action. Zug Zug. Oh wow, it's the same voice actor. Okay, cool. I don't think I ever really watched Voltron. I know of Voltron, I know what it is, but for some reason I never really watched it. I don't know. Is the show good? Is there like a new show of Voltron or something? throw the other ribbon. It's easier just to make the other layer transparent so I can see what I'm doing. This new show on Netflix and DreamWorks is okay-ish, okay. Now, I'm a Transformer guy, but Voltron, I don't know, you also had the, what was the other show? It was a, they also had big robots and they could turn into jets and have this weird mode where they were jets with legs. I think it was called Macross or Robotech or something like that. Yeah, you did mention Troll Hunters. I did see it on Netflix. I have not seen the show yet, but I did see the title. But knowing that Del Toro is involved, that's really interesting. But is it a still a show for kids, or is it more mature? Let's add some shadow on this Shadow Priest. Well, no, it's no problem that it's a kiddie show, but if it were a more adult cartoon, I like dark cartoons. As long as the stories are good. Okay, let's see. Draw a little bit of the arms here. She has these big braces here. Always a little gap somewhere that I can't seem to find. Oh wait, it's a different layer, there we go. Did anybody see the Warcraft movie? Because we also had a Warcraft movie. I actually saw it in the theater and I actually liked it. It wasn't really good or anything, but all the parts with the orcs were really nice. The orcs look great, and they were the best characters in the show. The humans were awful, and I liked the Murloc. Then you saw Murloc for like 1 second, and that was like really fun. I don't think there's going to be a sequel, but I liked it. Yeah, there was a movie. I think was about 2 years ago or something like that. They also had a in-game thingy where if you logged in, you would get the some weapons straight out of the movie. So that looked really cool. But it was, yeah, it wasn't a good movie by far, but it was just if for a Warcraft fan, it was fun. All right, let's draw some wings. I'm going to try something. I'm not sure it's going to work, but I have been drawing a lot of Judge Dredd, and he usually has these stylized wings, which I'm going to try to give to this shoulder pad, but it might look horrible. This is just a test to see if it will work. Not, I'll just go for the because the actual wings do have this really nice curve. Yeah, let's try something else. Let's try something else. See if we can get that curve that the actual wings have. Yeah, I'm a bit quiet tonight because I'm really tired. Because it was such a weird evening, I was not able to make any coffee, so I'm missing that caffeine boost at the moment. But as long as you guys are enjoying the actual drawing, I think we should be good. I think this will look better than my idea. This fits more with the shoulder pad. It does have some individual feathers. I'm actually also working on a different comic. It's actually a pitch, but it's almost finished. And I'm really curious to see what the writer's going to do with that. I believe he's going to go to all the major publishing houses. So who knows? It might get picked up. That might be really exciting. It's a really fun story. I can't really tell you guys what it's about though. I have not really asked permission for that, so just in case the guy does not want me to talk about it, I won't. But it's a really interesting story. I have not seen it yet, so anywhere else. It was a lot of fun to draw. A lot of things I usually don't draw. So that was a fun challenge. Little like Victorian aged buildings and some people I usually don't draw. It's really cool. No, so good. It happens sometimes that the inking layer and the sketching layer gets merged down because I'm using all these shortcuts and I tend to use the wrong one. It happens way too often where I would be finished with a drawing and then I need to like erase all the sketch lines. It's so annoying. I'll never learn. One of those things, right? Well, thank you, Running Fox. Yeah, this is better than my original idea. It's a little rough looking, but the little figure is pretty rough, but I like it. I think she does look like she can kick some serious ass. Priest style. Do need some warts. It's a troll, so. And we go to the other way. So it's fun to see when I look back at the actual stream. There's like a delay, so that's fun to see. I'm also recording the stream like all the others. So I will definitely be making a time lapse of this drawing, which I will put on my YouTube channel. Wait. Let's give the other layer just a bit more room here. Remove this, and then we have the second wing shape. So what else can we talk about Warcraft? I have been playing it for a while. Lots of horde characters. I've been in some really fun role-playing guilds. I have been in a troll-only guild called the Second Gurubashi Empire. Loads of fun. We used to patrol Strangletorm Vale. We had all these cool events, and it was just trolls. And I've also been in a mercenary guild called the Dogs of War, which, yeah, was also lots of fun. We had some really cool role-playing events. I actually organized a couple of them. I had backstories for all my characters. I had a renegade druid called Torin, and he was not allowed to enter Thunderbluff. He could, in game, you could easily just go into Thunderbluff, but as a character, he was not allowed. So every time I wanted to level my druid, I had to go all the way to Feralus, which was an actual, you had to travel there to train for my druid stuff. But that was his character. He was ostracized from Thunderbluff. He was not allowed back. I had to buy a mount when I hit 40, so I sneaked in, all in character. I sneaked into Thunderbluff. I had a whole role-playing story surrounding that. It was really fun. The role-playing community was always really cool. Just going somewhere to a in the Barrens, you had this area with some pirates, and they had this big tower, and if you go there, you would always see some people like just sitting there barbecuing, and every time all the pirates spawned, they would kill them, and they would go back to having a party. Nobody was in a big hurry back then. Nowadays, everybody wants to be the max level as quickly as possible in order to farm whatever they want, but back then it was just, you could just take it easy. Ooh, Guildmaster. I was never a Guildmaster or an officer, but in the role-playing guild, I was one of the people who really wrote a lot of stories and organized a lot of events. That was really fun. Guildmaster, no, that's not for me. Too much hassle. really like that Dogs of War guild. It was I was in there for a really long time. We actually met up in real life. We all went to Norway to have a barbecue. It was really cool. It is a lot of fun. If you have some fun people, you can just do some really cool role playing stuff. But that's also if you're just doing regular role playing games, the group you're playing with is just so important. That's what I always had a little trouble with, just finding a good group of people. I did find them though. I did have some really enjoyable roleplay sessions, but it's difficult. All right, well, we're nearing the end of the inking phase here for our Shadow Priest troll, who is insane. I know that. She's actually insane. She has the title. I'm not even sure if it's what you need to do for the title exactly, but I know it was a big thing back in the day. Just adding some shinies here and there. Yes, okay. I'm gonna give her some shadow. For that, I'll be using my different paintbrush, which gives this effect, and I can even go over it a couple of times. Just to give her some definition. This is a easy method to just make some shadows, and because it's very transparent, if I put some color behind it, it will just take over that color as a base. So that's, I tend to use this just for if I have a client who wants to sketch, I'll be using this to give it some better definition. Some people are not really visual, so they need all the help they can get in order to see what the drawing will look like, and that's fine. That's why we have these really handy tools. I'm not actually sure how much role-playing there's still in Warcraft. I know there is a big community on Argent Dawn, the roleplay server, But I have the feeling that it's more the Alliance side where there's a lot of role playing on that server. I've been on Dark Moon Fair for a long time, and I must say that while playing Horde, I don't really see a lot of role playing anymore. But I might be looking at the wrong spots. They might be, gone from Orgrimmar and just hidden away somewhere. But I do still hope there is a vibrant community because it was always loads of fun. Used to be on the Five Brotherhood, but I really hate PvP. I'm so bad at it. Still have nightmares of farming Altered Valley. That one was okay because you were playing with a big group, but just World PvP or you were in Warsong Gulch. I did not enjoy that. That was not for me. They played drunk once. I was drinking whiskey and playing Warsong Gulch. So that was fun. I wasn't really good because I kept running into walls and stuff, but it was loads of fun, for me at least. Ooh, yeah, the expansion is coming close. The only thing that sucks is I really want to play those new allied races, the trolls and the orcs, but you have to do stuff for. You have to like be exalted with a certain faction and do all kinds of stuff. So first, I'll still need to play the game with my old characters, or make a new one, of course, but and then start the game again once I unlocked the allied races. But something to keep you busy. So I'm usually so bored. I have 101 projects waiting for me at the moment. I've actually written a second draft for the for X-Maniac 2, which I really want to make. I have some really cool ideas, but first I'm going to wait the reactions for. Oh, hey, good night, Praise Walter. Thanks for stopping by. I'm going to stop in a moment anyway. Because this inking is pretty much done, and I am very tired. I will be coloring this character, but I think next stream I will do something completely different. So I won't be coloring this on my next stream, as the whole coloring process won't probably last the whole stream anyway. But so here we go. An insane looking troll priest. For now, I think I'll stop with this. I will be finishing this and will be posting this on my Instagram. But before I do that, I have a other project which I'll be posting on Instagram called the Horror Heroes. I've drawn 6 caricatures of famous horror villains, which I'll be posting starting tomorrow. And this character will be finished at a later date. Thank you, Running Fox. I hope you enjoyed. You are very familiar with this character. I'm going to save this for now. So yeah, this is a short stream. I had some problems starting up, but that happens when you have a little kid. Um, I did hope everybody enjoyed me drawing this badass looking troll priest. And I hope I'll see you guys again next week, where I'll be drawing something else. I don't know what. So if you have suggestions, just let me know on Instagram or on Facebook. And yes, thank you all and good night.